Hi, today's video is about how to fix your awful bad snare drum sound. A lot of band rooms I walk into, their snare drums, especially for beginners, sound something like this. They usually also have trouble with their students playing too loud. Part of that has to do with the way the drum's tuned. So here's some suggestions on how to fix it. Let's start with the drum head. If your drum head is worn, that's a sign that the head is worn out, and if you loosen it up, you'll probably find out that it's already dented up pretty good too. Heads are like reeds. They have a limited life, and they'll wear out before they break. So that's one sign that's making it sound that way. The other thing is the pitch. If I turn the snares off, I have a pitch on the drum that's way too low. So what we're going to do is change the drum head out, since I need to change this head anyways, get it up to the right pitch, and see how we can get this drum to sound better. We'll start by removing the old drum head. Okay, so I've got my drum head ready to come off. Here's the old one, and I can see, if I look at it in the light, it's probably hard to see in the video, but it's pretty dented up and showing some wear. Before I put the new one on, this is a great time to go in there and clean out the lint and junk that gathers in there. Same thing in the drum. All the old pencils, things that have gotten in there. And wipe off the bearing edge. The bearing edge is this beveled part around the drum, and it's the part that has the biggest effect on the quality of sound other than the head. Clean that off. So I'm going to put the new head on, and I don't want to make this a tutorial on changing the drum head, but I want to make sure that head sits easily on there. Make sure that the rim fits all the way around. A bent rim will give you a really bad drum sound too. That'll give you a terrible drum sound. It's like having a bad mouthpiece or a chipped mouthpiece. I'm going to get these all finger tight and then tension from there. Okay, so we've got our new head on here. These are just finger tight. It's got really no tone yet. I want to tighten these down across to where I get an equal tone at each one so that it matches to start with. Now I've got it tightened down. I want to check at each lug, does it sound the same? Just tap lightly at each spot. They should sound the same. If one of them sounds lower, tighten it up to the others. Okay, so now I've tensioned the head so it has a bit more tone to it. And I've actually matched it up to a pitch of about an A, which for this size drum works pretty well. For a 5.5-inch shell, which is a slightly shallower shell, you could go to a pitch of A flat to C. And that tends to give the drum not too much ring, but a high enough pitch to where it'll still respond, give you a good overtone. So now I should be able to turn the snares on, and it has a much better sound. It should sound the same soft as it does loud. It shouldn't rattle longer when played loud or be so choked off that it doesn't respond when played softly. You can usually adjust the snares at the throw-off switch. There's usually a string or a strap. If you have a shoelace or something thicker than that in here, that's no good. It needs to be either a plastic strap or a very thin cord that was provided with it, similar to what you tie a French horn with. Sometimes it's a little bit thicker. You can loosen this with a screwdriver, or in this case mine works with a drum key. Turn the tension knob so it's about 3/4 of the way loose to 2/3 of the way loose, and pull the strap a little bit tighter. Then use your screwdriver to tighten it back up, or your drum key. And then you can put your throw-off switch back on. That should give you a little bit more tension when you tighten it back up. Now this drum does have a little bit of ring to it. At a distance, you don't notice that so much. If that bothers you, there's different muffling devices you could put on, a patch of moon gel. Some of the older drums have an internal tone control which will muffle it. Or you could take that old head that you removed, take a craft knife, cut it up. Be careful, these edges are sharp. And you've got this ring, and drop that on there. That takes the ring out of it too, and it's a relatively inexpensive and easy way to do that. There are also drum heads that eliminate the ring for you. The Evans Genera Dry is a good choice. It has an extra ring underneath the head, and it's vented. And that does a similar thing and keeps the head pretty ring-free. It's a good choice for middle school. So I hope that helps you have a better snare drum. Remember, putting a good head on the drum and keeping it in tune is really important. It's just as important, if not more, than your clarinet or saxophone or oboe players having a really great reed. Except for this instrument probably gets played by several kids, so they all really deserve something that works well. Drum heads are a relatively inexpensive upgrade. Check the bottom head as well. The bottom head generally is a little tighter than the top, and you'll find that gives you a good response. So I hope you get your drums sounding great. The kids will enjoy it much more.